Jamaica. Make we do the right thing. Make we live good today for a better tomorrow. Talk it out. Don't fight it out. The time by the Ministry of National Security is
6:30.
A joint effort between the private sector organization of Jamaica and the Jamaica Constabulary Force to initiate transformation in individual communities, Project STAR, is into its third year, and already the shoots of progress are evident. This is Lead Story, CVM TV. My name is George Davis. At the top, what we will do is to set the tone for the discussion by presenting a package that we prepared, just reminding you about what Project STAR is, its aim, and you'll hear a little bit about those who are benefiting from the change that's happening right before our eyes.
STAR is known widely for economic and social transformation, but what some may not be privy to is that we have a psychosocial pillar that we do support heavily. Counseling is one of the programs that we push at STAR because we know that some of them need a safe space to unpack that grief, that anger, that pain, and they know that STAR is a safe space. So we meet them where they are, go to the corner, go to the shop, because they don't necessarily come out of the space, but STAR is willing to go to them, and when we go to them, we offer them that space to unpack. And so though we have the sports program and employment program, we use that program to get them in, but we channel them through our psychosocial programs, because we do know that for change to last, for it to be sustainable, it needs mindset change. And so we are able to have the guys on the corner street who we just want to kick a ball, to having them just up in a suit and tie at our launch for Dress for Success, you know, in jobs right now. So that's the STAR approach, because it's a holistic transformational approach. Yes, we have economic, yes, we have social, but the psychosocial development is the anchor for all our projects. So
I have with me this evening Kalanda Wilmoth. He is the External Relations Lead for Project STAR and a sponsor and co-chairman of Project STAR. Keith Duncan is with me as well. Good evening, gentlemen.
Thank you, George.
All right, good.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome, sir. You wouldn't mind the older gentleman going first?
No, I don't.
He has more grace than you, or doesn't he?
Yeah, I respect my elders.
There you go. Keith, Project STAR has 2 years in the bag.
Yeah.
We're seeing change based on the map of the progress intended at the start of the project. Are we on track?
We are definitely on track, you know, I'm very happy with where we are. It takes a lot of work and effort to build the trust in these communities, because they have seen so much of this before.
Yes.
And they have seen it in spots and in inconsistently applied, coming from NGOs, multilaterals, government agencies, but no integrated approach to community development where you engage with the community for the community to lead, to own, to participate, to drive the change, to make it sustainable. That is the critical element that we have been able to do, to build trust in the communities. And we're in there for 5 years. So therefore you show consistency, you're there, you have a presence, you build out the governance structure within the community through the community transformation boards to start from what are the issues, data-driven, evidence-based, to determine what the issues are, and how do you go about solving these issues and designing a community activity-based plan within the pillars of social transformation, economic renewal and transformation, and community ownership and leadership. And you design those programs to effect sustainable change across communities. So I'm very happy with where we are. We have gotten the support of the private sector.
Yes.
How we actually got here was because, as president of the private sector organization of Jamaica, I recognize that Jamaica had gotten to a place where we have achieved macroeconomic stability.
Yes.
It's time to focus on human capital development.
Yes.
Meaning education, community development. Focus on that fiscal space that we have created. Pay attention, love and care to the people of Jamaica.
Yes.
And the most marginalized and most vulnerable are those who live in these communities.
Yes.
Vulnerable, volatile, with crime rates which are higher than the national average.
Hear you on that. After the break, we'll hear from Kalanda Wilmoth and advance the discussion further as we look at Project STAR 3 years into a 5-year cycle, just what it's achieved already and what is poised to chalk up further down the line as additional achievements. More on Lead Story after this.
Mammogram can shape your motherhood. The Jamaica Cancer Society, helping women now. Visit the website at jcs.live. Early detection saves lives.
Welcome back to a Lead Story here on CVM TV, talking about Project Star into its 3rd year. And we have been told that it is on track in terms of what it was designed to achieve, as the enablers and those who do the heavy lifting try to improve communities one at a time and try to give greater possibilities to those in communities which are usually hotbeds of violence, trying to show them an alternative to the life of crime, pretty much trying to help them to escape the fate. Kalanda Wilmoth is the External Relations Lead for Project Star. Kalanda, from the perspective, well, Keith made a very important point in the opening segment about the appetite for the program that is evident among the people under the target of Project Star. And I'm going there because I know from speaking with several individuals who work with foreign entities over time who've done social intervention in Jamaica, the feedback I get, which I believe because these are friends of mine who I trust they were, they said, George, social intervention is not working in Jamaica. We've spent millions of dollars over time throwing money at the problems, and the people don't want to really get involved in social intervention, but they take the benefits of the social intervention programs, they won't work. And yet, I'm saying, well, why is Project Star making improvements greater than incremental improvements and looking as if it is a winner in the making, in the formulation? So I say all of that to ask the people and their appetite for what Project Star delivers. What's that appetite like?
Well, the appetite looks a little bit like over 3,000 people already involved right across our 5 communities. If we look at the community...
And those 5 communities again, quickly?
5 communities. We're in Rose Gardens, Parade Gardens, Maypen, three areas in Maypen.
Sav.
We're in Sav and Salt Spring. Salt Spring is our 5th community.
In St. James.
Yes.
So when our approach is to be community informed, community-led, community-owned. That's sort of our philosophy. And STAR is broken down into 3 areas. It's social and social inclusion and cohesion, economic development, and partnership for development. So when I said the 3,000 people so far in our first 2 years, we take an approach where the solutions to the community's issues, we believe the community residents know the answers. We believe that if we come alongside and provide support, so our approach is to match resources with what people say they want.
Yes.
Because they understand it better than us. So it's not we already have the answer. It's okay, we have some resources. You know what's going on in your space. What's the solution? How can we help you to achieve it? So we have over 3,000 people engaged in the Community Transformation Action Plan. This is a process where we say to the community, tell us what are the challenges you're having. And they say, how do you think those challenges can be solved? They say, and then we would take it, do a little bit of a prioritizing, if you will, of the process, bring it back and say, okay, so based on what you said, these are your top issues. Can you identify the top issues? They identify them. And this is a collaboration with partners on the ground, because again, we said the third part is partnership for development. So you have your SDC on the ground, you have the police on the ground. We are working with the CTBs consist of businesses on the ground, community leaders on the ground, etc., young people, the works. And once we identify and the community identify for themselves what the solution is, then we go to the next step. We literally go on the street in the community and say, hey, you know, your fellow community residents have said these are the main problems. Are you in agreement, etc.? And then we sign off.
Yes.
And the principle we operate on is when the residents are involved, it's going to be more effective.
Yes.
It's going to be more sustainable.
Yes.
That's our end goal.
But quickly, let me ask you this. For those who haven't yet Project Star visit upon their communities, who are thinking, so what is this? Is this something that I sign up to and at the end of it, them give me a work?
Okay, so the economic part of the 3 is employment.
Yes.
So some people will get a work, as you said.
Yes.
But our approach is what makes the difference. Before we train people, which is a collaboration with Heart, again, partnership, before we train, we screen. You saw the video earlier with the young lady, Mishka, one of our project officers, talking about what we do with preparing people for work. Sometimes when you screen, you find that a person is not really ready for work, even though they think so. So we tap our partners, whether it be the NCDA or we tap
That's drug abuse.
Yes.
National Council on Drug Abuse,
Yes.
or we have a partnership with Grace and staff. They give us some hours with a counselor.
Yes.
And so people may need some little mental preparation. You may need a little, you need some support to come over the line to be ready to go into work because of what work demands. And so when we screen and we find that somebody is not yet ready for work, we put them on that stream, and then when they're ready, we put them back.
And put them into a training program after that.
Right.
Yes.
When they go into training
Yes.
and they are employed, we have post-employment support for up to, I think, 12 months.
Yes.
Because it's important, does the person still have the job after 3 months,
Yes.
6 months,
Yes.
12 months, a year? Does the person now have health insurance?
Yes.
Do they get paid vacation? The quality of life
Yes.
is changing.
Yes.
They're getting work experience now. They can look about getting further training to move up and so on. That's what we focus on.
Yes.
So it's not get a work where
Yes.
we go and get you a work. We help to prepare you. We help you to do the JMB folks come in with their conversations for greatness for you to shift your mind to understand
Mindset.
what's
Right.
going to, because we work on the mindset. And then you're in the job and we work with you
Yeah.
to stay in the job and the employer.
Yeah.
So it's a duty of care approach.
I take that. Keith, let me ask you this. The fact is that governments over time who say they're about development and improving
Yeah.
the country, they spend a lot of time policy making,
Yes.
legislating, and wondering why the country can't improve. And it's because the people are not being given the attention that they deserve
Yes.
at the level that efforts like Project STAR seek to do.
Yes, most definitely. And in building all this community development model, the government has all the pieces all over. And when Kalando speaks to developing partnerships, the critical partnership here is the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Creating a safe space, building trust with the police and the communities, working in partnership. You know what the police say? This program works very well for them. They
Yes.
don't need to shoot themselves out of the problem.
Yes.
This is crime prevention.
Yes.
This is working with the people, taking at-risk youth,
Yes.
put them into micro-entrepreneurial programs, putting them into sports, engaging them productively. That's the element, one of the elements. And so therefore, taking all the partnerships, the Social Development Commission, HEART, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, Ministry of Labour and Social Security, because you want to get people the benefits of the state that they're just not receiving because it's been done in a coordinated, integrated way. We are building an integrated community development model that we can scale across Jamaica.
Yes.
There are 120 communities in Jamaica that are defined by the POJ as vulnerable and volatile.
Yes.
That need this support.
Yeah, just before we go to the break, let me give you one example of an individual. So here's a man, and I'm going to speak in the way they think and speak. So they say, boy, me have a little ganja charge one time, so I can't really go forward because of that. And me have the birth paper because my mother house it burned now, me just born. And me never two finish school, me have 3 subjects, but what me can do with that? So that's why I'm there on the corner because me really can't see my way through. Is it that Project STAR then straightens out the path to getting that birth certificate, seeing about getting an expungement for a trivial ganja charge, which of course it's decriminalized now? Is that what Project STAR sets out to do, Kalando?
Well, there are
help
many,
with.
so there are many ways that we could respond to that. Obviously, anything having to do with the crime and the law, the police would have to take care of that. But being able
and the police are a partner, so it's already partner
obviously
there,
right. So the details of how that gets sorted, I'll leave you to ask the police.
Yes.
That one. But when it comes to obviously getting a birth certificate, that's a social service that they can access, which we, through our partnership with the RGD, etc., and JSIF and so on, we are able to see to that. Someone wants a job, or we've found as well, George, that somewhere between getting a job and having a business, you find what we've now dubbed our nano entrepreneurs. These guys who, whether it be you have a pump that you can use to wash your vehicle, or you have a little sound system that you can get some jobs, they're not necessarily going to fit neatly into the workplace.
Right.
But they're of a particular mind that if you give them a nudge and a start somewhere else, then, so we have a solution for that if the person wants it, because again, we don't impose.
Right.
You know, if the guy comes and lays out like you just did, these are my issues and this is what I'd like some support, then we channel the support
Again,
based on our
we're
partnerships.
in Maypen with the nano enterprise.
Yes.
The police identified within our planning process some at-risk youth, youth just like that,
Yes.
who are on the way, is either they can go here,
Or there.
go down the wrong road,
Yes.
or we can grab them and we can see what they want, work with them. And we had them, they're doing chicken farming, goat farming, pig farming, car wash. They're doing fried chicken on Friday evening. You understand what I'm saying? I
Yes.
went out there and delivered to the police. The police were there and we went into the community. I wanted to see for myself, to feel it.
Yes, hear you. And on the point of feeling it as we take this break, John Holt sings about I want a love I can feel. Project Star is delivering the solutions that the people in the communities can feel, and that crucially, the kind of solutions that they say they want. Very, very crucial. More on Lead Story after this.
The time by Grace. Taste that moves you is
6:45. These days, challenges are everywhere and things are constantly changing, but independent living remains the same. Rising above physical challenges, we can help you do it. For years, we have been Jamaica's trusted provider for solutions to improve patient care, safety, and the general quality of life. No matter your age or your physical limitation, we are the caring store, waiting to serve you. It's time to experience independent living. Visit us today.
Hi everyone, my name is Kurt Dunn.
Greetings from Kali's Kelly Yoga.
Hey, it's Robin Morrison, and I am your National Physical Activity Specialist. And it's time to make a move.
Jamaica, let's get moving again. Season 2 of the Ministry of Health and Wellness Jamaica Move series is here. Join us Wednesdays at 5 a.m. and Saturdays at 8 a.m. right here on CVM TV. Let's get moving.
Make a move now.
Fan Central Pitside, brought to you by HChem, AIM Financial Corporation, Texaco, and Connex.
Marcia Griffiths culminates her diamond anniversary in reggae music, 60 years and counting. Sunday, November 3 at Hope Gardens with Marcia Griffiths and friends. A massive musical showcase featuring Jamaica's greatest artists on one stage. Marcia herself, Shaggy, Busy Signal, Tassan Chin, Elaine, Tanya Stevens, Nadine Sutherland, Cutty Ranks, Rash Shiloh, Brick and Lace, Tony Gregory, and more. Courtesy of Appleton Estate, KFC, Water, Coca-Cola, HIC, Kendall, and Ranch Entertainment. Tickets available at marciagriffiths.com and cabtix.com. Marcia Griffiths and Friends, an iconic reggae moment you can't miss.
Welcome back to Lead Story here on CVM TV on this Tuesday evening. So here's the thing. Someone will ask, well, George, if it is that Project Star is indeed going in the right direction, it's on the right track, at what point does the government lend its support to the effort? The private sector organization of Jamaica has been front-running with the project in lockstep with the Jamaica Constabulary Force. And if it is that there's more support to the effort, then more can be done. And why 5 communities when there are so many communities, as mentioned by Keith Duncan, that are in need of the kind of support that Project Star intends to provide? So I'll put that to the gentleman to say, how soon are we able to get Project Star outside of the Fortunate 5, if we can call them that right now, and what entreaty have you made, if any, to the government to lend some support so that the funding increases, so of course you can increase the scale?
Yes. Thank you, George. And we are non-political.
Yes.
We have carried the leader, the Prime Minister of Jamaica, we have carried the Minister of National Security, we have carried Minister Dana Dixon in, we have carried Mark Golden into the community, the opposition leader. We have shown them the program, demonstrated how it works, let them hear from themselves, from the people, and we have the results. You know, we have the results that show that in these communities that crime is down significantly.
Yes.
crime in these communities have decreased much faster than the national average,
Yes.
coming from over 400% of the national average to 117% of the national average. So therefore, the national average has come down in crime, but star communities have come down a lot faster.
Right.
How do we get more people on board? The private sector has taken us out to the ground and got us here. The government of Jamaica through HART and the Ministry of National Security have come forward. We now need to get the government and the wider Jamaica to come on board, support the effort to scale this program. We have developed a model which is scalable. We have the numbers, we have the data, we have the evidence of a working model. As the police commissioner says, it's an experiment that has worked. So therefore, we now need to scale it. And we are here, George, to say, Mr. George Davis, let's get the word out there. Let us scale this program and get this to wider Jamaica. While we focus on education and human capital development of Jamaica, that's what we need if we're going to have a good future for this country.
Yes. Kalado, what has been part of the basis for the success in bringing down the serious crime rates in these communities? Is it just that people have an alternative, a pathway to an alternative, or just the fact that the police is so close in the space working that it has put a damper on crime? What would you attribute it to?
Well, for STAR, we always say it's and. So it's not one thing. It's this and that and that and that. So it's a number of things that we would, and even though we're continuing to look closely at what correlates to the changes in terms of when we're in the space versus Zozo, etc., the police work and so on. So, but our approach is it's a mixed bag of things. So when we're in the space, we're targeting the at-risk youth, like we gave you an example, and he talked about how the police work with those guys. We're working with the elderly. We're working with, we have a school feeding program, which the residents had pointed out in one of our communities, and through partnership with two of our donors, we're able to impact specifically school attendance among early childhood.
Very important thing.
Right? And we've seen that between one of the year 2, September to May, we've seen a 68, moving from 68% to over 80% attendance with the targeted group that we're looking after. And so we have that. So you have the elderly, you have the children, we have an after-school program, we have a parenting club, we have sports. And then we're also doing our employment program in every community that we're working. And so a mix of things can impact the communities, because the one mother explained that being able to provide lunch or have a meal for her child means she can use the little resources she has to do something else. So you see the immediate impact. The data tells us as well, if you're looking at violence and crime, children are more likely to be impacted by violence in the home if they're at home. You see how that becomes a compounded issue if you can't send them to school and you feel bad even as a parent and you're frustrated, and your frustration and maybe your spouse and whatever like an argument, and the children are overhearing that and you're kind of perpetuating the cycle. Except if we find a way to make it so that you can have the child in school and then you can put them in an after school program and then they can be engaged in sport, you're immediately reducing the risk and increasing the resilience.
And in the way that you have answered, in case someone came in late and wondering, well, how is the transformation happening at the granular level? I think you'd have just articulated that right there. Keith, before we go, I have to ask you about the novelty of the social stock exchange element. Yes,
so we wanted to go to the wider Jamaica. We wanted to utilize the mechanism of the stock exchange to invest in public, for them to come on board. To invest in the future of Jamaica. And it means that we want to invest in communities. Now, everybody in the private sector was saying, boy, crime is a problem in Jamaica, so what are we going to do about it? Are we going to be investing in crime prevention? Or, the government of Jamaica has done a good job of building up the national security architecture. Wider Jamaica needs to come on board and invest in our people. We can't live uptown and then downtown, 5 minutes from New Kingston, people that suffer real bad. We have to invest in our people. It's our brothers and sisters.
Absolutely.
And if you want a better Jamaica, come on board and do it. And therefore, through the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange, we offered it to wider Jamaica. We didn't get all the support we wanted, but we'll be back.
Lastly, Colando, what word do you have of motivation for the soldiers that Project STAR has deployed who are directly interacting on Project STAR's behalf with individual community members? I have been doing a good job.
What the approach that we're taking is that we need the people to own the work, to own the anything that's going to happen in the space. They have to own it, and understand that we're doing work that is making Jamaica better.
Yes.
So that when we get older, and we can live in a country where we're happy that the people who are running it are making decisions that are going to be to our benefit for the time that we have left, and they're going to almost like pay it forward to keep creating a better Jamaica.
Yes.
Our star approach is we want to live in a Jamaica. We believe that if we work together, we can create a Jamaica where everybody is valued and everybody has the opportunity to thrive.
And lastly, Keith, I'll say to you that what I'd encourage you to do is to seek to put forward some of the star alumni so that Jamaicans can see individuals from these troubled communities who, through this effort, who have been given an avenue away from the crocs and the alligators and the Philistines who would blight their futures.
I totally agree. And we have so many stories to demonstrate, so many stories to tell. And we have them in the testimonies right there on our Project Star Instagram page, Facebook, etc. There are so many stories. We need to do a better job of communicating it so that we can get people more on board. But you know what? One of the reasons why you may hear that violence is down, because 70% of the violence in Jamaica comes from marginal and vulnerable and volatile communities, such as these star communities. 70% of the violence. So if we focus on these communities, right, and as we scale this and focus on these communities, and can you imagine the difference we can make?
I can well imagine. And the last thing I'll say as we wrap the program is this. As I said, I've spoken to several people who said, boy, the amount of money that we've spent on social intervention in this country, the returns are paltry, and the approach needs to be refreshed. It needs to undergo a rebirth because it's not working. Project Star has shown that it's not a problem with intervention, it's the quality of the intervention. And as you heard the gentleman here on the program stress, the solutions that have been designed and proposed to the people have been designed and proposed by the people themselves, who are saying that, listen, if you give me an avenue to get this, if you provide access to this, then with that, I can help to make a better future for myself. And if individuals in the community have that pathway, then the community improves. And of course, the national picture where the management of crime is concerned, that improves, and people having a realistic future to pursue. Project Star, 2 years old, and it's into its third year. It's running strong. The government, nudge, nudge, you need to come on board to support in a significant way. And the 5 communities that are benefiting now should be 500. And even so, the model can even be adapted if it's not just violence-prone communities that I'm sure something like this would serve well in, but communities that are underserved in other areas can benefit from a Project Star and the transformation they're in. So hear what? I believe that it's a noble approach, and we should put our shoulder to the wheel and lend our intellect and our resources to this effort. That's my time here on Lead Story this evening. Make way for the news at 7.
Steve knows style.
That jacket! When was you in the Temptations? You are my alter ego.
And Steve gives in to his own temptation. Small business owners and independent contractors get affordable insurance with Sagicor Pro Shield. The time by Sagicor Life is
7 o'clock.
CVM News at 7 headlines Tuesday, courtesy of Heart NSTA Trust, Jamaica's Human Development Agency.
Tonight on CVM News at 7, tragedy at Campion. 8th grader struck dead by goalpost. Dr. Nigel Clark bids farewell to Parliament and Finance Ministry. Jamaican jurist sworn into CCJ. And Red Hills community on the brink of collapse. In the business report, cashless classrooms now a reality. While in sports, KC through to Manning Cup quarterfinals. This is CVM News at 7. Here is Nika Lewis.
From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7. It's Tuesday, October 29, 2024. Thanks for joining us. The tranquil atmosphere of Campion College's compound was shattered by a harrowing event today. Eyewitness accounts vary regarding what transpired, some implying he was attempting to show off his agility, while others believe he simply lost his footing. Curlin Brown has more in this report.
It was a rather frightening scene on the compound of Campion College in the corporate area late afternoon. A young rugby player had to be rushed to hospital after a bizarre incident. The second former was reportedly in a training session with his peers when he was observed on the bar of the goalpost. It's not sure what caused him to lose his balance, but he fell on the field, and the post fell on top of him. Initial reports were he was critically wounded and had lost a lot of blood. News later surfaced he had succumbed to his injuries. In the wake of the incident, many students who witnessed their schoolmate in distress were left traumatized. Several rumors also surfaced. CVM News accessed messages from close associates of the school, angered by some of the comments and allegations in the public. One reaction explained the youngster was told repeatedly to stop swinging from the goalpost. It's further alleged he eventually jumped off, and the post came down with him, hitting him to the back of the head. Personal details were not immediately released about the teenager, pending notification of his close family. Campion College is at this time already still hurting from the death of another male student who drowned 2 years ago. Our newsroom understands some of his schoolmates are still undergoing counseling. Our newsroom extends condolences to the family, fellow rugby players, and the entire school population at Campion at this time. Of course, we will also continue to monitor this developing situation. Curlin Brown for CVM News.
Well, a civilian who visited a police station last week is now seeking to press charges against some police officers whom he says assaulted him on the premises. A video of the interaction with the police has gained much traction online, as you'll hear in this report from Trisha Gay Kelly.
A man has come forward to share his side of the story after he was allegedly assaulted while at a police station in St. Thomas. In a video circulating on social media, the police officers can be seen and heard asking the man to leave the premises. The civilian, however, who is a seasoned media professional, says he visited the station to learn how he could assist his friend who was arrested, but the police officers asked him to leave.
And he just walked down to me, choked me and said to take the phone out of his face and swing to box me, and I waved my hand and it catch me on my hand. And then the other policemen that were there already just come down and grabbed me and was rushing to take the phone from me.
Things escalated when one officer threatened to harm the civilian.
Sir, how can the police... I to leave you to the station and have the purpose over here. Take the phone. No, it's outside. Box, sit down here.
The tussle ended when other officers allegedly intervened and brought the man into the station, where he was searched, arrested, and charged for assaulting a police officer, among other things. But the man insists he was the real victim.
I'm going to press charge for assault because he was the one that assaulted me. And I'm also going to press charge on the other officers. If they think I did something wrong, the proper way I would think that they would do is to say, sir, you're under arrest, turn around, put your hands behind you, or something like that. So because I did nothing wrong, everybody just come down on me and start push me down to the ground.
He has since reported the matter to the Independent Commission of Investigations, INDICOM. Assistant Commissioner Hamish Campbell, after seeing the video, reminds that officers must treat citizens with respect.
The JCF have implored their own staff and members to treat all citizens with courtesy and politeness and respectfulness. And in fact, Commissioner Anderson, the previous commissioner to Mr. Blake, Dr. Blake, had indicated that no person was to be turned away and that they don't need to be treating anything other than politeness and courtesy.
A new chapter unfolds at the Caribbean Court of Justice CCJ as a prominent Jamaican jurist steps into a distinguished role. The solemn swearing-in ceremony at King's House was marked by reflections on duty, legacy and regional unity. With her appointment, she joins a growing legacy of women in the CCJ bench or on the CCJ bench, poised to inspire. With more, here's Shante McNeil.
Having been appointed a judge of the Caribbean Court of Justice, do hereby swear that I will faithfully exercise the office of the judge of the Caribbean Court of Justice without fear or favor, affection or ill will, and in accordance with the Code of Judicial Conduct. So help me God.
Newly appointed judge of the Caribbean Court of Justice, CCJ, Chantal Onanehu, taking her oath at the official swearing-in ceremony held at the King's House on Tuesday. The Jamaican jurist now fills the vacancy left by Justice Jacob Witt, who passed away shortly after his retirement last year. Appointed by the Regional Judicial and Legal Services Commission after a rigorous selection process, Onanehu brings over 2 decades of experience in CARICOM and international trade law. CCJ President Justice Adrian Saunders praised her accomplishments and expressed an eagerness to work alongside her.
I am confident that Justice Onanehu will make a huge and positive contribution to the court and to the region's jurisprudence. I extend to her my warmest congratulations on this occasion, and I look forward to working with her.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness weighed in also.
You remind us of the profound impact that purposeful ambition, steadfast focus, and discipline can have on our communities, and we are confident that with your clarity, wisdom, and dedication, you will continue to inspire and uplift many across our region.
In her address, Justice Onanehu expressed readiness for the responsibilities ahead.
Our Caribbean Court of Justice plays a pivotal role in advancing the rule of law in our community and building Caribbean jurisprudence. During my tenure, I will work assiduously to contribute to shaping the jurisprudence and overall direction of this august institution, which is at a critical juncture as it approaches its 20th anniversary.
She now joins Justices Maureen Rognoff-Lee and Desiree Bernard as the 3rd woman on the CCJ bench, hoping to inspire others.
I look forward to serving alongside other women on the bench of our regional court. I hope to inspire other women to serve in the judiciary in the region, as so many illustrious women judges have inspired me. Our Caribbean Court of Justice is an institution of which we can be proud, in which we should have confidence, and to which we must remain committed.
For CVM News, I'm Shante McNeil.
Cries for attention have been increasing after another corporate area gully separated from its banks and pulled with them personal belongings and parts of a residence. Though fear is rich, the locals say their plight is overlooked because they are poor.
One gully, 2 different realities.
The people have to push it back because every time they buy new things. Yeah, a rich people live over them place there, you know. Look there, the people them do all it tear down. Everything tear down, them have to rebuild, them have money and like we over here so now. We are poor.
This is Belmere Close off Red Hills Road in St. Andrew, where for years locals allegedly have been grappling with the erosion of their property as more of the massive gully near their homes caves in.
It's a family yard overall. We've been reaching out to Mr. Carl Samuda and the councillor for help to fix the gully because the gully wall bust. It has taken over everything. Washing machine gone, windows gone, everything caved in. It's like sinking sand down in there. I will not get no help. No help. Nobody now send. We constantly send videos, pictures. and there's just no help in fixing the gully. It has been years since over there is brought down, and now this happened before burial, and it's only getting worse and worse.
Today now, rain come down, we're in our bed asleep. The tree drop down, it drop from the root. One 85-year-old woman live in there, so when she pull her door, in the hole she has step. People can drown and dead. We don't really wait pan for fix that. So from burial, we have kids. We have a 5-year-old, a 2-year-old. We don't really wait pan.
Heavy rainfall recently only condemned these residents to a worse fate when a section of a road there gave way and the common gully pulled away from its barrier wall.
So them in my bathroom, my bed, I've ever heard the tremor from this. A serious things. Serious situation is we really need help.
Their fate rests in the hands of the local authorities, whom they insist have long been made aware of their struggle, but allegedly only made them promises.
More time it traumatized me. The first time the old dig out, I'm a washing machine gone. Me not even talk about that, but the life, me no want to know say life gone. You understand? Show my face. Me no want to know say life gone, because the greatest thing alive. But no man, something need for do, something have to done. Because people afraid. Me can't even come out of the back door because the 85-year-old lady will live over there, so me neck and then me in a right so now. We can't even come out. Afraid. We go in there asleep and me gone. See all upstairs there? See upstairs there? Look on the youth that come over. I just say I have to take a walk.
Every time I excuse, on top of excuse, nobody know do nothing. Babies live here. People live here. Will life never value nothing?
With much of the focus now on scoring political points ahead of the general election, the residents insist the government ought to be proactive before lives are lost.
And when they saw now we pass somebody for wash and dead, I don't want the house to just drop down and everything gone.
To be a fatality before we get help, right, yes, sir?
Look how long we live them life, man. And only when time somebody dead already house wash way before we now come with disaster preparedness. That not work, man. Deal with the disaster before it get big. And see it get bigger now, and still now come look. Look how the gully stay. Look there. It's a gully, you know, and see there's the people that walk, go up and down, people live there. And you don't want vote, you don't want this, you don't want that. Fix the place, man.
When CVM News last inquired of the National Works Agency about repairs to affected gullies in the corporate area, we were advised effort was being made as available resources permit to effect repairs. There's more to come from CVM News at 7 after this break. CVM News at 7 headlines Tuesday, courtesy of Heart NSTA Trust, Jamaica's Human Development Agency.
Crunchy Box for only $8.50. Crunch your craving with the new KFC Crunchy Box. A piece of delicious chicken, 2 hot wings, biscuit, and Pepsi for only $850. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Papa Jesus, insurance gone up again? Go faster. It gives our insurance.
Driver, let's go.
Do you really want to stick with the same old insurer? For the first time in Jamaica, taxis, minibuses, coasters, whatever you drive, MIBinsure.com will find you an insurer who will slash your premium by up to 60%. They all claim to save you money, but only MIB Insure actually can. Switch to MIBinsure.com today and save serious money.
Coca-Cola just became besties. Taste the new limited editions while they last.
CVM News at 7 Tuesday, brought to you by KFC.
Hungry for deals? Get the new Crunch Sandwich Combo from KFC for just $600. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Welcome back. Well,
Keeping stability is not an inevitability. That's the warning from outgoing Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark, who leaves office for international appointment in just a few hours. Clark outlined a vision for Jamaica's economic future, urging careful policy choices going forward. With the details, here's Ramon Gordon.
Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark bid farewell to Parliament Tuesday, offering a vision for Jamaica's economic future as he steps down to assume his role as Deputy Managing Director at the International Monetary Fund. Clark, reflecting on his tenure, hammered home the importance of preserving Jamaica's economic stability, noting that while it doesn't solve all of Jamaica's issues, it's essential for sustainable development.
As much success as we have had, the path ahead does not allow for policy error, because Jamaica's finances are so rigid and tight. It can be maintained by the choices that we make, and importantly, choices that leave enough space for public investment.
In his final address, Clark highlighted that by the end of the fiscal year, Jamaica's debt-to-GDP ratio will drop to 68%, the lowest since the 1970s. He advised his successor to prioritize local currency debt to reduce reliance on foreign lenders.
So though we might be at 68% at the end of the year, we still have 60% of that amount denominated in US dollars, which is a source of risk. Now, because we're in a position where we can demand what we want, my posture has been, everybody want to lend me money. I said, look, you come to me with Jamaican dollars, I'll borrow from you.
Tributes flowed from Parliament, lauding Clark's transformative impact over his 6-year tenure. Leader of Government Business Edmund Bartlett celebrated Clark's achievements, including oversight of an 88% rise in the minimum wage, the $45 billion Spark program, and the $275 million Montego Bay Perimeter Road project, all executed without imposing new taxes. Prime Minister Andrew Holness echoed similar sentiments, crediting Clark with shaping a new economic outlook that balanced fiscal responsibility with critical development goals.
I don't believe 90% of the people understand what we have done. But I've always known that Nigel's skills and his service is not always going to be local in focus. It is indeed a distinct honor that that skill resided with us, and we now give that skill to the world.
Clark's resignation as MP for St. Andrew Northwest takes effect at midnight, with still no word of a replacement for his role as Finance Minister. But as he prepares to take formal leave,
there's always been respect, and there's always been a recognition that we are all here to serve the people of our country.
Ramon Gordon for CVM News.
Meanwhile, Dr. Clark made a stop before his appearance in Parliament today. To tell us more, here's Britannia Witter.
Thanks, Nico. Well, the outgoing Finance Minister and Member of Parliament, Dr. Nigel Clark, he said his goodbyes to members of the Northwestern St. Andrew constituency and at the Jamaica Labour Party's Area 1 Council meeting on Monday. He delivered a spirited farewell speech. It was a huge occasion which brought out several of the party's senior members.
The time has come for Dr. Nigel Clark to make his way to the International Monetary Fund, IMF. But this time, he won't be in the business of loan acquisition. Instead, he's set to become the first person from Jamaica, the Caribbean, and Central America to be appointed the post of Deputy Managing Director of the IMF. It was the March 2018 by-election in Northwest St. Andrew that initiated Dr. Clark's ascendancy to his lofty Hero Circle offices. Last night, he was in the constituency bidding farewell to his constituents. Clark urged party supporters to carry on with the JLP's legacy by electing Dwayne Smith, son of the former longtime MP Derek Smith.
Your love for your party is exemplary. Yeah? And I want you to continue that. What we have done together has not been done in Jamaica over the last 40 years. And it must continue. for the love that you have given me. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. The love and the warmth and the reception. And I only ask that the love that you have given me, that you multiplied several fold, and you give it to the next Member of Parliament, Dwayne Smith.
He described his parliamentary duties as a privilege.
I want you to know that it has been the privilege of my life to serve you as Member of Parliament. It has been the privilege of my life to respond to your fears, to respond to your needs, and to incorporate your ideas.
Clark will officially assume his role at the IMF on Thursday, where he is expected to contribute to global economic policy and financial stability in service of the IMF's 190 member countries. Prime Minister Andrew Holness, who brought Dr. Clark into the political arena, was reflective about his commitment to economic growth. He said Clark's contribution to the sector is unquestionable.
When I met Nigel over 20 years ago, we shared a similar perspective on Jamaica. Nigel provided critical skills in the management of the technical areas of change. And I don't think that there is anyone in Jamaica who could question the technical competence of Dr. Nigel Clark in managing the economic affairs and transforming Jamaica's economic prospects.
Dr. Clark's departure has raised questions about the future of Jamaica's economic policies as the country prepares for a new finance minister. The government is expected to announce the new minister in the coming days. Britannia Witter, CVM News.
So much more to come after this break.
Get your new way, get your license in your hand.
Rotted. Johnny, your bag. Jump in the water with fisherman license tonight.
Don't worry about that, man.
Accidents do happen, but easy application for your fishing license from your smartphone makes things a little easier. iRefins allows you to register for any fishing license, permit, or authorization anytime, anywhere. With iRefins, you get faster processing times when you register online from any mobile device or computer. A new system, the iRefins system, for fishers like
me
and me.
And me.
Ask about iRefins, the new system for fishers and fish farmers. Register today for an easier way.
iRefins is a joint project of the National Fisheries Authority and the Transformation Implementation Unit.
Secure protection and possibilities with Guardian Investor Plus. Explore the benefits of investment with life insurance and start planning for that exotic vacation, your first home, education, or even retirement. Living easy is within reach, and Guardian Investor Plus does more to help you get there. Contact an insurance advisor at 876-927-4105 or visit myguardiangroup.com.
Welcome back. Well, we take a quick look now at the business report with Joel Crosskill.
Lots to share with you in the business report today.
Committed to a creed that seeks to unlock value where others see none, the Norbrook Equities partner via Norbrook Transaction Services Limited unveiled a digital payment solution that aims to revolutionize payment management within schools. Before the BR shares more about it, a data point to consider, as at 2023, according to the PIOJ's Economic and Social Survey Jamaica, total enrollment in secondary institutions exceeded 188,000 students, representing hundreds of thousands of potential transactions each day. Assuming an average student spend per day of 1,000 Jamaican dollars, the size of the internal economy of the nation's schools each day would be $188 million, $4.136 billion per month, or $49.6 billion per year. Chairman of Norbrook Transaction Services, Kerry Robinson, introduced a raft of benefits the successful integration of the ePay digital payment system provides.
In addition to the personal and administrative challenges posed by cash on our school campuses, you don't have to search very far on Google to appreciate the real risk our children face taking cash to school daily. Accordingly, NTS has always wanted to eliminate the need for students to carry cash, and we believe it makes for a generally safer, more efficient, and more convenient environment for our kids, eliminating one more hurdle in their path to a better future. The student card is not just a payment method, it's a tool of empowerment. Students will learn to manage their own funds, understanding budgeting, and even develop financial literacy skills that will serve them well into adulthood. For the past 2 decades, NTS has been quietly developing transaction solutions that enhance lives. These include many consumer and corporate solutions that make environments cashless, allow for better transaction tracking and reconciliation, and generally lowers the risk and friction in the Jamaican economy that is overly dependent on cash.
Jerome Smalling, CEO of JMMB Bank, the Treasury Bank for NTS ePay, expressed his enthusiasm for the expansion of the digital solution into the education sector and its potential advantages for improved financial literacy and inclusion.
The stats indicate that if students start at a younger age to understand cash, to understand managing their finances, and driving their financial literacy, they can achieve their overall goals and dreams and aspirations at an earlier age. On average, a youth graduate is owning a home after about 15 years. If we start financial literacy earlier, we can bring that down to about 5 years.
While the ability to track transactions will no doubt be useful for budgeting purposes, according to Havana Llewellyn, Chief Operating Officer of ePay Jamaica, with the planned expansion of the operation surface of the card to public passenger vehicles, the potential of its security features may become even more impactful for parents in particular.
What this means is that our bus operators, private transport, will be given a terminal in which a child can tap. And that payment is then recorded and sends a notification to the parent to let them know their child has boarded the bus to go to school. Not only will they be able to see or receive that notification, they're also able to track the bus to see where the bus is located.
Though Campion College becomes the first and only school to offer the service, efforts to secure an additional 20 educational institutions by early 2025 are also well advanced. It's a development that was welcomed by Dr. Nahima Daniels-Heath, Technical Support Officer in the Office of the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Education and Youth, as being in alignment with the vision of the ministry.
Safety within our school is non-negotiable. And this systematic transition to cashless payments directly adds another layer of the initiative that we have been implementing to ensure our schools are safe. Within the Ministry of Education and Youth, we celebrate public-private partnerships because it is innovations like these that strategically lend itself to our overarching goal of the ministry to strategically transform education for national development.
And that was your business report. I'm Joel Crosskill.
We head now to the break with the market summary.
KFC, what we're pulling up. Anything for the taste of a KFC, big deal. The time by KFC is...
J&J, Montego Bay's leading pharmacy, is now open at shops 21 to 24 Harbour City Mall, with friendly staff filling your prescription while you wait in comfort. There's a special place for private conversations. For all hard-to-get drugs, prescriptions, or over-the-counter medication, makeup, fragrances, gifts, household items, and much more. You can find it all here at J&J Harbour City. Open Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call 876-952-7386. WhatsApp 876-997-7644. We serve with care.
That's it. We're closed. I am so sorry. We only have 3 patties left.
It's a Jamaican thing, but full of flavor. Hey, we set the trend style major. Juicy patty, have a savor. You know the patty nice when we do the juicy patty bones. Patty bones, patty bones, watch it bones, watch it bones. Hot patty, watch it steam. Juicy patty bones, patty bones, patty bones, watch it bones, watch it bones. Juicy patty, ready for we go. From food I keep in our party. Juicy patty, have something for everybody. So patty for nice. Patty bones, watch it bones, watch it bones. Hot patty, watch it steam. Juicy patty bones. Grab your family and do the juicy patty bones.
Improving our relationship with you.
The Passport Immigration and Citizenship Agency, PICA, is improving its relationship with you, our valued customer. Our new customer relationship management system will help us to better understand your needs, communicate with you, and address your issues faster. Contact us online and let us help you. The new system is a joint project of PICA and the Transformation Implementation Unit.
Improving our relationship.
Building a better public sector for all.
Welcome back. It's now time for a look at what's happening on our digital pages.
So what's trending in our local social media spaces? A video is making the rounds on social media in which a civilian engaged in a fiery exchange with police officers at a station. The intense conversation has sparked a heated debate online, with many weighing in on the situation. Here are some of your comments. At Caesar_DC5R shares, squaddy them wrong. Young police them learn bad habits already. The scream at the last part. At Mickey Overload says, me rather see gunman at night than police, believe. Joke system. At Godzent official posts, public servant them ya? At Marley business boss adds, I see why the police training requires revamping. If any constable gives a citizen a lawful order, the only time necessary force should be used is when there is non-compliance of such order, given it is lawful. At Golden_1 shares, that's why citizen behave so. You must can resolve things without force and disrespect. This is ridiculous. At Solid_1FG writes, you're supposed to be able to walk into a station and sleep if you feel endangered. The man is clear